Greetings, dear friends, and welcome to our regular international discussions on the Creative Society TV. Friends, many people ask us, what is the Creative Society and why we talk about it so much? To say shortly, the Creative Society is the world where your life and life of every human on this planet is the highest value, where we have the best quality medical care, education, food, and all the social securities and benefits. It's a safe world where science working on improving our life, and we together define the standards how we live. This world can be our tomorrow, but only when we tell about this to every person on our planet, and together implement these changes to every sector of our society: education, healthcare, judicial, and other systems. So let's today discuss with our guests the reality we live in today and the benefits of Creative Society for every person.
Thank you. And I would like to introduce our guests. It is Merab Khachapuridze from Georgia, farmer and grape grower, and Erick Aloise, production monitor from Danish Refugee Council and founder of Rescuing International. Welcome, dear guests. I would also like to say to our viewer that this international discussion is dedicated to the global online forum, We Are People, We Want to Live. And it is broadcasted on May 7th on the Creative Society platform. An 11-hour live broadcast that uncovered the most relevant and vital topics of our contemporary society. And we haven't discussed many topics from different areas. And we also discussed the solution, how we can get rid of all these issues in Creative Society. The truth was voiced during the forum, and this information that can help us to build this society of the side of our dreams, Creative Society. And please stay with us, as today we will dive deeper into this topic, discuss the forum, and hear from our guests why the information they heard inspired them to speak and share it. And now let's watch an introductory words from the forum in order to understand what was it about.
Greetings. I would like to welcome everyone to this unprecedented international online forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. Thanks to the millions of volunteers from around the world, this event right now is simultaneously interpreted into 100 languages and streamed live to thousands of media channels and platforms in over 180 countries. Multiple vital topics will be presented today that concern every single person in our society. Some might be difficult to watch to the point of unbearable at times. But if you fail to hear the truth now, tomorrow may be too late. The vital information and facts we are about to present will not be covered by the mainstream media. This forum is created for the people, by the Creative Society volunteers from around the world, because we are confident that if every single person understands that there is only one real enemy, climate, we have a chance not only to win the last war, but also to come out of these times with maximum benefit to ourselves and future generations. Throughout this forum, you will learn about the Creative Society format and why it is our only solution. We will show what a deceitful, dead-end, inhumane format of society we live in now, and why all attempts in the current consumer society to make any positive changes were unsuccessful. You will come to an understanding about how critical the climate crisis is and why we need to take immediate action towards the Creative Society. Each word that you will hear today has a deep meaning. All the information and facts have been carefully collected and cross-checked by numerous people around the world. This event is the product of months of hard work of volunteers, each driven by the desire to live. It took millions of people to bring this information to you. Now it's up to you to make sure this information reaches the 8 billion people on this planet. The future depends on the actions of every single person today.
This forum is really an unprecedented event, which is opening our eyes on the reality of nowadays. And I would like to ask the first question. Dear Erick, could you please share what from the forum touched you the most? Which topic was impressive for you?
Yeah, I was impressed to discuss about refugees' rights within, not only in Africa, but around the globe. For how refugees, they are living. Most of refugees, they are going through hardship. From the country where they're coming from up to the place where they are located, they're still having a lot of challenges they're going through, especially in food, in terms of health, in terms of educations. So people are suffering around the globe. We discuss about human rights, but there is a lot of challenges which they're going through around the globe. And if you go deeper, according to human rights, it is not the right. Especially when we discuss about the people who came from 1992 from different countries to Kenya, where I'm located in Kakuma refugee camp. Up to now, I am protection monitor. I'm working with humanitarian work with the Danish Refugee Council. And most of my work, I'm used to work as a data collector. I used to collect some data within the community. When I go through the community, you will find out there is some refugees who have the document since 2000 that's still located in the same area, and there is no change. This person came from the original country, and when she came with family or she came with parents, when she arrived here, she got to school, she received everything, but the procedure to follow up as a refugee, it doesn't work according to the other countries. Secondly, when it comes for the education, there is still a lot of challenges through education, especially for the youth. Huge number of youth, if you go to the data, you'll see that the update, it is show that refugees are assisted. Enough number for youth that are assisted, but go through the work within the field. In reality, these people, they are not working. Huge number of youth, they don't have work. They're sitting within the community. That is why we face a lot of challenges. The main point I'm trying to discuss here is about the challenges which refugees are going through. This is not only about Kakuma, but it's around the global. The refugees doesn't have access to many things. People are trying to upload many things on social media to show that refugees are getting a lot of assistance. But when you go to the field, it is not the same. Many things are not going the way that you are planning. Many things are not going according to the plan. Many stakeholders are providing support to the refugees. Many stakeholders are providing some good support to the refugees. But when you go deeper, when you do for monitoring and evaluation, when you go deeper to that support, some of the refugees are not assisted, especially opportunity, especially educations, girls. Many of them, we have a lot of data for the people who are trying to make sure that they see how they can overcome the challenges after schools, the academia, especially young girls. I started rescue wings in order to prevent any challenges which girls and women are going through, including children. And I started this when I went through the community during my time to collect data. I found out that there is a lot of challenges. Women, especially female head household, the person who is holding the responsibility, she's a female and she has like 9 children. She don't have any work. She don't have anything, any source of income. They're suffering within the refugees area. We tried to discuss with them. We tried to get some data. We tried to discuss what is going on. They told us that most of the time that they are facing challenges due to language barrier. Secondly, they are facing challenges due to number of the children that they are handling within the house. And many of them, they're coming from South Sudan, Sudan, Somali, and also in the other country. So when they are reaching here, they don't know anything. And they are sitting within the community. They don't get any support apart from the food provided to the UNHCR. There is a huge challenge when it comes for providing distribution food. They provide the food for the refugees, which it cannot go beyond even 1 month. It cannot reach even 1 month. Then how comes you provide to one person the food? This person doesn't have any source of income. This person holds the responsibility for 9 children, and this person doesn't know any language which can communicate with other people. So we come to find out that at the rescuing, this is main challenges. So there is a lot of support was removed from the girls, from women, and they're not getting them. And if you see these people, the people that don't have any support from outside. So we have the local people. We are trying to solve them, but we can't because of what? Our capacity is still down. So when we talk about human rights, it is it's broadly. When you say human right fight or gender equality or fight for everyone, but when you go deeper, when you make a research deeper, there is a lot of challenges which is going around the refugees area. When refugees arrive in a country, when you go to the place they are sleeping, they give them a mat. And sometimes it takes time for them to get those support. Why? They're sleeping, some of them outside on the cement, and it brings a lot of challenges to them. So if you understand very well, human rights is a bigger, and it need at least to make a follow-up. We speak about human rights, but when we talk about human rights, for my side, I can say that current world, some of the other area, we just speak only about human rights, but deeper there is no human rights currently. Because when we go in terms of the education and the health, many refugees are suffering psychologically, physically. So I'm trying to say that I just say that this chance to be in front of for giving this opportunity today, it is a big deal and it is a big opportunity for me to release these words, because the number of women around the refugees, number of children are grown up daily after day. And previously, some of news came out that camp will be closed, but they started to provide some feedback or camp will be closed. There's a time that refugees themselves start to build their life. They start to make sure that they start small business. They start, oh, we'll do this. But abruptly, we received a feedback from the other agencies, from the media, that camp will be closed. We received some feedback. It was last year. They said that camp will be closed once we reach in 2022, June date 30. But according to the current situation, if you see our environmental, there is no that doubt that the camp will be closed. And if you go deep in within the community, there is a lot of romance that most of people cannot implement their business by thinking that we'll be turning back home, thinking that we'll be settled here, we'll be receiving some settlement here, thinking that we'll be pushing outside. So our life is not in one space. We are trying to move. We can't be fixed. So this is another challenge, is that not only country, but also UNHCR, they are not focused with. Because if they can think of us as a human, they can fix anything at once. They can say that we need to do that at this time frame. What will happen if I don't fix my life and I have my future? I want to build. I want to make sure that I do anything that I can do so that even my future can become better. Instead of say that we'll close the camp, stop it, we'll do this, you don't do it. So we come to realize that educations for the young girls around the camp, life for women in terms of opportunity and language barrier still challenge, and also youth, huge number. Look, currently a lot of data, some data are not reported to United Nations because of what? There is other local community, they found out that even if we report, they can't assist us. So we have to stay quiet. Why report when someone cannot assist me? Why report? There is a violence within household, domestic violence within some community. Someone rape a neighbor child, but they can't report because they know once I report this issue, nothing will happen. So a perpetrator will be taken to the jail. Tomorrow will be out. The same. If I go to report my, thank you so much.
Just, dear Erick, thank you so much for, you just gave so many examples which are showing the real situation in the world. That what you're saying, like from one side we hear that help is being provided, that, okay, don't worry, everything will be managed and covered. But we see from that information what you're saying, and that what was voiced also in the forum, that in reality everything is not as we think and it's not as it's shown. And that's why it's so much gratitude to you that you are, you're bringing this information from eyewitnesses, which everyone can hear and everyone can understand. So what is really happening in our world and how we can solve these problems together by transforming the format of society itself. Thank you so much for, all these facts which you brought up and for opening this topic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, Alexander.
Yes, it's really some topic that you will not actually hear from mass media, or you will learn it only from people who will tell their stories directly. And later we'll dive deeper into this topic again. And now I would like to ask Merab, can you please share what inspired you to stream the forum into one of the language, and what you found in the forum most interesting for you? What really gave you this motion, and what you would like to discuss today with us?
Здравствуйте.
Hi, my name is Merab Khachapuridze. I'm from Georgia. I am a countryman who has my own grape plantation, and I am happy to know about such thing like creative society, like forums that are held by creative society, by volunteers. It's really heroic deeds, the information of all the planet. What is the impression the impression even from one of your forums is the topic, very hard topic, but very useful topic. You give all the truth. You give all the dirt of our world that are hidden for a long time. They discovered were beautiful words and manifestations, which is hidden everywhere and each time. But you wasn't afraid to speak about with help of these conferences and forums. My own impression about all these conferences, they are shocking, because all these truths that you show, it's open eyes for the simple people, and it made us to see the truths that we couldn't see before. And at last, people can see how, where, and what we need to live with. The information that you give is a unique information. With the help of this information, we can survive. We can survive with these horrible conditions that we are living in. And the more horrible conditions are waiting for us. And this information was shown in the conference. It's a tremendous amount of information that was shown, but the main point is that everything that was told is a unique facts, and they are very, very hard to understand.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your feedback. And it's really true that people are bringing truth to inform each other about what is really happening on our planet. And the most important, about the way out which we have, about that possibility that today, united, we really can change the situation. But to know how to change, we need to know what we're facing. So thank you so much for your feedback. And now we would like to present one more video from the forum, which is showing how huge possibilities we have as humanity.
Every night, 811 million people go to bed hungry, and already 38 countries are on the brink of starvation. We live in times of instability, pandemics, economic crises, climate disasters, military conflicts. They put millions more people on the brink of starvation. Are you sure you won't be among them? In the consumerist format, no one is secure against starvation these days. But it is such an absurdity. Why? Let's take a look at the technology that already exists. One of them is vertical farms. They have great advantages compared to conventional farms. They produce 300 times more food and up to 30 yields a year. They consume 95% less water and 80% less soil. They make it possible to grow various crops all year round without using pesticides. They don't depend on weather or location and require minimal logistics cost. Harvesting is possible even in Antarctica. Aquaponics. It allows simultaneous breeding of fish and cultivation of vegetables in a single closed cycle. Fish waste fertilizes plants, speeding up their growth by 40%. It is environmentally friendly and can operate in a virtually waste-free way without polluting water bodies. It doesn't involve pesticides and consumes 10 times less water. Yields from 1,000 square meters of land by this method equal to yields from 2 hectares of fields and 20 hectares of ponds. It can be applied in the tropics or an arid desert, and even on the roof of a skyscraper. Humanity has already learned to print food on a 3D printer and to grow fish and chicken meat from cells. Even food made of air is no longer science fiction. A Finnish company is building a factory to produce flour from air and has won the first stage in a competition to provide food for space missions to other planets. We have shown only a few examples of technology, but even they can already resolve the problem of hunger once and for all. Development and introduction of such technologies in the infrastructure of cities will provide people with food everywhere, regardless of crises and disasters. It will make the process of growing food products independent of climate, weather, location, soil fertility, or even logistics. In consumer society, hunger is a prospect for everyone. In the creative society, not a single person in any country of the world will go to bed hungry. It will be up to us, people, to jointly decide which scientific discoveries to implement first, while openness and transparency of information in the creative society will make it possible to ensure reliable control over implementation of our decisions. We really want to live in the creative society. And what about you?
Yes, it's really a great example of showing that we have everything that can solve many of the issues on our planet. For one example of hunger, one of the problems that we have still have in our world. And you know, after watching this video, the simple question arises: why we not just apply it to save lives of the people? Why, for example, refugees still live in such inhumane conditions and really suffer from everything? And we have also shown an example from building houses and how the weather conditions can really make people's lives so hard when they just live in these small houses. And I would like to ask Merab, can you please share, based on the information from the forum, what do you found out about the real situation with the refugee crisis and how we can solve it in creative society?
As the information was that we saw what possibilities we have and what new technologies are there today. And having such technologies, we still have crisis and food crisis, water crisis, climate crisis. We have a lot of crises. The total crisis, so to say. Unfortunately, the biggest crisis is for refugees because their life is already ruined. Erick told about his life and people around him and the problems that refugees have. From the documents translated, I know that there are more, even harder problems that refugees have. For example, when refugees are donors for some other people because they don't have any rights, because they lost their home and were not able to find a new home. But at the same time, we know a technology that they can build a certain stored house. So how this can happen that for 30 years refugees are living in the tents, in the camps? Is there no solution for these people who already suffered? It doesn't matter from military conflicts or climatic disasters, but the first and most important help should be given to the affected people. Yes, the countries accept them, but let's not forget that in today's consumer society, any refugee camp is a business for the country. Let's face the truth. And a lot of money is made, which are not given to the refugees to help refugees, but they go to the pockets of people who are on the top. Erick told about tough situations that happen in the camps. I will add that life of refugee is a hell. And the hell compared to their life is a hell because parents lose the children because they are sold, and they have slavery, sexual slavery, and parents lose children. And all this is happening while all the countries are watching this. And also the heads of the governments of these countries are really participants of this, because on the top of this is money, and this is very difficult. And nobody in the future, with such climatic crisis that is happening and going to happen, is not guaranteed to, and is not guaranteed that our children will not be the same, or they will not become donors as these children. And this is the problem of our consumer format. And that's why we need a creative society in which we will be able to live and guaranteed safely. We'll have guaranteed safety, and in which we will have no crises which we mentioned. No food crisis, nor clothes or water crisis, which is going to happen soon, or of course climate crisis. If we are able to create a creative society, or a plan to save the humanity, which is the creative society, we will be safe and our children will be safe. We'll never go back to such things as refugee camps. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Merab. Thank you for sharing, and really powerful words. I just cannot say more than I agree with you that our current format, it's really scary, and it's not leading us to anywhere. And we really need to change it to the creative society, where we can apply all those technologies, when they can apply everything. But first of all, we will value human life as the highest value, not something else, not money or anything else. Thank you so much. And Erick, I would like to ask you how you see the benefits of creative society for yourself and for people you love. Could you please share your vision how creative society will change life of people?
Thank you so much. First of all, I just say that frankly speaking, this platform is more benefit, because when you share what you have in your heart, and the people who are around, maybe those who are there will be feel that our voice was heard somewhere. So I will be glad, because this creative society, it is not for one person, it's about the global. And I love the words that you described there. You say that we want to live. I want to live, and my life is not limited. So if you know that I want to live, please give me a space, give me a free time, so that also I can see how I can move forward with my life. Because stay one place, wasting the years and the years, for me as a refugee, it doesn't make sense. Even if for you, you're enjoying your life, but it doesn't make sense. This platform is like a chamber whereby people who suffer for a long time can sit down and come to their voice. It is a toll-free. It's a space where you can make sure that you release what you have, you give what you have, and maybe someone who is outside can understand much better. And the more you're discussing with others, the more the pain is going out, the more you're trying to brave yourself and give yourself to the counseling. But I thank you for everyone and for the people who give me this opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for joining. And it's really, important thing that we are discussing it together and we explaining it to other people, because right now in our current format, many of the problems are just silenced. People do not talk to people, do not discuss it. And if we remain silent, these issues that we have in our society, they still remain. And they exist only because of this silence. When we are not aware of problems that people live, what kind of problems people have in refugees camp. Just if we have, for example, just understanding or have this opportunity to live one day or several days, if these politicians or people who are responsible for such situation will be invited to live in such a camp for at least several days or maybe a week, these problems will be solved. But unfortunately, people are not aware of, and in our current format of society, these things are just silenced. And in order to break this out, in order to start reforming it, we need to start talking about it. And the next topic that we would like to discuss with you, and I will just ask you again, Erick, how do you think, what can a common person do in order to spread the information about creative society? What a common person can do in order to, explain the benefits of creative society? What can you say about it?
Okay. I can say that Greek society, in short, I can say that it is a place whereby people come together in order to release or to make sure that to solve the challenges which is going around the globe, not only around the refugees, around the globe, in all sectors, in education, in business, in government, in all sectors. So the creative society is there for human rights, is there to make sure that the global turn back to the normal system, so that everyone can be at least live the life in good way. So my message to the people, I can say that maybe if you feel that you have any words that you want to share to the world, and that words that you feel that it cannot be heard from the other people around you, and I would rather suggest you better to make sure that you reach the society, creative society platform, whereby there will be a free space. Anyone can make sure that she talk. Everyone are free to talk, are free to discuss, are free to share, and brainstorm together with other young leaders from around the globe, so that they can come up with one idea for how to solve the challenges which they are going through. That is the main point that I can say, because this platform is a platform that everyone can understand, anyone can share the idea for how you can come across with your solutions, and also everyone around the globe can maybe come up with any strategies for how to solve the other challenges, because we are many refugees. There's other refugees not only in Kenya, even in Ukraine currently, Afghanistan. The people that we call them IDPs. You are in your country, but you are still facing a lot of challenges. And the same. Even me, I'm crying in front of you, but some of you that it is worse than me. So when we reach here, I didn't come here in order to say about my life, personal life, but I came here on behalf of refugees, and I came here on behalf of others. So if another person has a challenge, I will rather recommend them to read this and make sure that we share what they have in their mind, so that we can say how to assist each other in order to solve these challenges which is going on around the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Erick. And it's really true that today we have all these problems because we are divided. We're all divided, and we are being told that we need, to be afraid of some people or to fight with someone. But really, these open conversations, they're allowing us people to speak directly to each other, without some intermediates, without some media who is using maybe some information in benefit of you. But we can really like this openly discuss and understand that we have nothing to fight for with each other. We can join our hands and we want the same. We want to live and we want to live good life. This is really that opportunity which we have today thanks to technology, thanks to every participant of the Creative Society project who voluntarily participating to make this platform so that we people from all over the world can see, look into each other's eyes and openly discuss how we want to live, what problems we are facing in this society and how we can solve them together, only together, because it's our world. So thank you so much for your sincere experience, for sharing your thoughts and for being united with one idea to build the Creative Society. And Merab, I would like to ask you, could you please share maybe your message to people, why it's so important to bring this information about Creative Society to every person on our planet?
Why it's important to share information about the Creative Society? This is the same like asking why you should take water to the desert. Because first of all, our life depends on this. Secondly, because the life of our children depends on this. Because we can understand each other and understand that we are not different, that we are not enemies, and we don't have to wars. And it doesn't matter the color or the race or the religion or how you look. We are people, and we just all want to live and live a good life and human conditions to have a good life, but not just survive. And it is very important. Creative Society is the only society where we can just talk to each other, meet new people, and this is something that we really miss, because in this format we have been so angry because currently on the street we don't see people smiling. Everyone is busy with some problems and thinking about something hard. Everyone is afraid, and there are reasons for this. Of course, they do exist and they are serious, which we should be afraid. But we do have light and have sun. Why should we go to the side of dark when we can go to the side of light? We have a plan to save, and we have a path. This is Creative Society, where we can live a nice and good life. This is something about what all people are really dreaming of. Do we 8 billion of people cannot overgo 1% that live on using us, our children? This should be stopped. And the only way out of this situation, because if we don't go out, there will be an end for everyone. The only way out is to unite in the Creative Society, and we should talk about the Creative Society. Open the mouth and not be afraid to talk about this, because if we are afraid, then this fear will kill us and our children. We don't have another opportunity. It doesn't exist. The other way only is slavery, illnesses, refugee camps. Because if you listen to the forum with people who want to live, you will understand a lot of things. You will understand why hundreds and thousands of people every day talk about this from all the media sources. and from all possible things, social media or public speeches, everything. But the most important is that we start to understand and come closer. Because we were united, we were separated. This is why we were separated. Because if we are together, those 1% can. Those 1% will not have power over us if we are united. Because we are the one. We want to live. We are united. So let's unite. Because we are close. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Merab. I really love what you just said and completely agree with everything. You know, like just when you're looking for the outside, even sometimes when people have smile on their face, still inside they have a lot of issues. And our life, it's in this format, consumer format, is format of relationships. When people are enemy to each other, when they smile and they do some bad things. But we can change it. We can change it because we live on this planet. We live in these times, and we have these unique opportunities. For example, I'm sitting here in Germany, and through internet, you can see me, you can hear me, we can discuss it. And even if I, for example, live somewhere in isolated place with internet, with the satellite technologies, we can really change this format. We can start discussing it with other people. We can use social networks in order to spread the word about creative society. This simple thing that we can just explain the benefits to other people, that you, my friend, will live happily and freely in creative society. And that's because this society that we will build. We will implement this 8 foundation that will bring secure medicine, secure education without any manipulative technologies and so on. The secure living and happy living, because if we build the world for ourselves, who can actually do something to us? These people who are trying now to rule the world, they also actually live unhappily, because in their deeper inside, they also want to walk on the street, go and drink some coffee with their friend, but because of the security, because of their billions or their high position, they cannot do that. And this creative society, this format, will make all of us equal and allow every one of us just live a normal, happy life. And of course, we can just be really grateful to everything that these people are doing and they experience and everything they know. Like if, for example, he's a minister and he knows how to organize some sort of industry, he has that experience, and everyone will only say thank you. And may I just buy you a coffee or something, because you have make my life easier. You can make life of everyone in this country easier. And just imagine it, how happy we can live. That what brings me security, that everything we need to do is just start talking about it. Just start implementing creative society by informing it. That's what a wonderful life that awaits us.
That's really true. And today we have all the opportunities. There is already Creative Society project, which is showing that we can make this change accordingly to the laws and regulations of every country in our world. We don't need to destroy anything. We don't need to make something difficult, but it's just to understand how we want to live, we all people, and start together discussing it, building it. And then when we see that, okay, something we don't need anymore, it will go by its own. But it's only our common work and it's only our common development. So we just can help each other and make this world really beautiful, because it's for us and it's for our children. that we will be sure that they can live peacefully and happily. Thank you so much for participating in this discussion. And dear viewers, if this topic does not leave you indifferent, join international discussions on the Creative Society platform. Watch the forum. Let every person in the world know that we have solution which gives freedom to every person, solution which gives development for our whole civilization. Thank you so much.